Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name's Andy, Corporate Commander TFW, and I'm joined this week by the man who potentially doesn't have as much hand strength as Kanatan. It's Mikey G. Wolfie 3. Hello, Mikey.
Very few people do.
Yeah, seems like it.
Because as always these days, it starts with something HoloLive related or VTuber related or something. Because we are nerds.
And weebs.
Yes, and we are weird neebs.
Oh no, I don't want that to be a thing.
We are neebs. But there's this one of the HoloLive VTubers who is apparently in real life a very small petite girl. Did a grip strength for like one of those Nintendo Fit games.
Is it the Ring Fit thing?
Yeah. And her grip strength is 50 kilograms. And she took a photo of it and put it online. And I was curious, the average grip strength for a woman who's about 5'6" is 23 kilograms.
Yeah.
The average grip strength for an average 5'10", 5'11" man with average amounts of exercise is 46 kilograms. Mm-hmm. She's over twice as strong as the average woman and could basically break the hand of most men.
For some reason.
And and again, she's one of those ones where like anytime talk, like in real life, no, she's a midget. Like, so it's just like, there's this tiny dwarf Japanese woman who just like, shake my hand. I don't want to.
She will crush you.
And like, there was one, because she was in an accident and came back today, and I was just watching clips.
Oh, is that why she hasn't been about?
Yeah, she was hit by a car.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Apparently she wanted to stream in bed in the hospital, and they were just like, no.
What happened? Did she try and shake the car or something with her hands?
She probably grabbed it and just like when she said I hit a car, she hit a car. But and it was just like I was sitting in bed worrying like, am I going to be really weak when I came out? And she came out and was just like, what if I'm down to 30 kilograms? Just like,
what would that matter? Who cares?
Yeah, just like you could still break the arm of every person you know.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
So I don't know. And then she put up a picture of just like, I did a test. I kept the 50.
Yay! That's the main important thing.
Priorities in life.
See, I've seen some videos on the Ring Fit thing, and I was like, oh, that'd be fun to have. And then I'm like, I don't want to buy a Switch for one game.
Yeah. It's one of those things where I think would be really good for fitness. Like, it could be really fun. But I don't want a Switch.
No.
So I want the PlayStation version.
Yeah, or something. But the problem is it's a Nintendo-only property, isn't it? And it's with a periphery. So if you do get it for just one game, you buy the Nintendo Switch, plus however much the Ring Fit is. And I imagine that's not cheap.
Yeah, no. So PlayStation, please do out a version of your own.
The thing is, it won't be as good, unfortunately.
Because the controls aren't designed for it. But I don't know.
Well, I wouldn't say even that. I would say, like, in terms of, like, the fun, family-friendly thing... That's Nintendo, like the weird kind of entertaining, story-driven, or weird gameplay stuff. That's PlayStation,
and Xbox is guns and sports.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of Call of Duty. That's what I think of when I think of the Xbox. I think of Call of Duty, which is a good or a bad thing. I would say a bad thing, but
I don't know. I've only ever played a few Call of Duty games.
I just don't care about them because they are realistic and therefore are kind of boring visually and in a storytelling aspect to me. I love my fantasies.
I've never played the story mode one. I had a friend who had it, so basically we just go around his house and shoot stuff, and it was really fun when you had someone on the couch next to you, and you're doing split screen, and he's going like, "Watch the door, and I remember once I just sort of turned around, looked at him, and said like, I'm a killer, man. I'm not a watcher. And I jumped out a window and left him behind. And a few seconds later, just like a message, ... has been killed.
So basically what you're telling me is you did the right thing.
Yeah.
Right?
One of us had to live.
Yeah, exactly. It was better you than him. That's how it usually goes.
I could go off and kill people. He was watching a door.
I've just checked out of interest, and the Ring Fit Adventure for the Nintendo Switch is $69.99. Nice, nice. If do you want to buy both of them together, Mikey? The console and the Ring Fit Adventure. Do you want to know how much that is? Amazon price?
What's the console on its own?
I don't know offhand. I can tell you what the combined price of the two are, though.
200?
Let's just round it
300?
up.
300. We'll say 3.
Okay, it's £349.
Better than I was expecting you to say.
Yes, still high, shall we say?
Yes.
Let's just say that.
And I don't want to play on a Switch because there's nothing on there I want to play.
Not even Fire Emblem, because that's the only other game.
Okay,
I would
there
be
are a
tempted to
couple
play.
of things. There's nothing on there I'd buy a console for.
No, I would agree. Like I'd play that. I'd play begrudgingly. I'd play the Dynasty Warriors Legend of Zelda game, but only because it's a Dynasty Warriors game. Less so because it's a Zelda game. Apart from that, I have no idea like what else is on there that's unique that I would care about. What about Mario? Don't care. Don't care about the Nintendo properties. Never have.
No.
Don't
I wouldn't mind playing the classics, but I can play them there's 1,000 ways to play the classics.
Oh, you mean like Super Mario and stuff like that? Yeah. Okay, yeah, I can see that.
But like the modern stuff, I'm just not interested.
Would you buy the Mario collection of Mario 64 and stuff and begin the suffering?
Maybe not.
You wouldn't go down the route of the Phoenix that constantly must scream.
Yeah, the much
Pikami, who must also scream.
Yeah, there's a lot of screaming. I've seen a lot of screaming in Mario-related stuff in the last few weeks.
It's almost like the Nintendo 64 had some really wonky controls.
Yeah, it's strange that.
Whether that was because it had a really wonky controller or because it was the first venture into 3D, who can say?
Who can say?
Who can say? But we're not here to talk about Nintendo products, shockingly enough. We're here to talk about Hasbro products, that being Transformers.
And we're going to start by something that's not a Hasbro product.
No, but is illegally licensed. Because it's not licensed.
The wonder of the grey area.
Exactly. We're kicking off with Magic Square Toys, showing off the Justice of Light, which is the MS-B18X Plus, which is the special metallic version of the previous Light of Justice G1 Optimus Prime. Legend scale, of course. Mikey, does he come with a trailer?
Yes!
Yeah, he does. So what is this? It's the same toy, but with a metal finish.
Yep.
Woo! Get those repaints out, baby.
Not even the repaint I'd have thought you'd do.
What would you have thought they'd done?
Nemesis, Shattered, Magnus.
You know, I have, like, I'm going to sell you on a trailer, Mikey.
No, you're not.
I am. I'm going to sell you on the idea of an Optimus Prime with a trailer, and it's going to be a trailer that you'll be like, shit, that could be pretty sweet.
Go on.
Okay? Do you not believe me? Do you not believe I can do it?
No, Andy, I wouldn't believe you if you told me this color was the sky.
All right, well, let's start off. So, let's change the Optimus Prime. We're going to make it Shattered Glass Optimus Prime, right?
I see. I saw you were going to make that move, but continue.
Yes, it's the obvious move. So what we're going to do with the trailer is, it's going to still be a trailer, but when you open it up, it's not going to be a base mode. No. It's going to be a computer area. Maybe with photos of little clay models of little clay robots on there that may be monster shaped, like the Monster Bots, but in grey plastic.
Yeah.
So you justify by saying it's a little collection where, Shattered Glass Optimus Prime sculpts the monster bots and puts them in little cabinets. And the trailer is a little cabinet for them.
I feel like the trailer would have to be very tall.
Well, do you remember how it has that really shitty, like, repair-based mode?
Yeah.
There you go. You stick it up there, and you don't worry about molding, you just do it all with stickers. Boom. It's a little glass cabinet where they could put all the... I mean, if they wanted to go all out, you could make it so that they actually have like a little shelving unit in there where you could put little plastic models, but they'd have to be very small. I think that would make a trailer much more interesting and would also theme it to Shattered Glass Optimus Prime the way it should be themed.
Remember when we hated him?
Yeah. And then Trigger did something.
Yeah, Trigger just kicked in the door.
It's only a reference.
Like, I love this.
No. It's only a reference though, guys. It's like, yeah, but because I care so little about Shattered Glass Optimus Prime, this is the personality that has been like scarred onto it.
And like even the most recent version of Shattered Glass Optimus Prime has this.
Yeah.
In the comic.
In some ways, yeah.
Yeah. So this is his DNA is now this.
You know what you could also do? You know the shitty little drone thing, the with the mechanical arms and the missiles where the Microman would have gone back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
You color that as what's his name? The bad guy who was manipulating it.
Alexis.
Yeah, Alexis. You color it like that because it almost has a similar head.
Mm.
So you do it like that. Oh, if you wanted to be really shitty, you could just make it like an Alexis body and pretend it's a cloak. So then you'd have Shattered Glass Optimus Prime, and then you'd have Alexis.
Oh, no. Do you know how you do Alexis?
How do you do Alexis?
Beast Machines, Megatron. The old Beast Machines Megatron toy with a new
head. With the cape. Yeah, with the wings and stuff. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Yeah. Oh, I like that idea as well. That's pretty sick. It's a shame that figure's fucking garbage, but...
Yeah, but you wouldn't be doing anything with it.
No. You'd have it in the cape mode, and that'd be about it. Maybe you'd pull the cape off so you could have him fight Gridman, but that would be about it. Yeah. Do you have any thoughts on this Optimus Prime, Mikey, apart from the fact it is metallic in nature?
Yeah, it looks as good as the old one did. Yeah,
it's the same mold, so...
Yeah, I can't say I'm enthused.
No, I mean, it's a metallic version. Metallic versions are... They're okay, but they don't really do it for me personally. I'll let you take us on, Mikey, to a toy that we talked about last week or the week before, but now we get the coloured version of him.
Yeah, so Planet X PX22 Zeus. We have the colour prototype, and this is their version of Cybertron Shockwave. So yeah, we get to see him in colour. We get to see the effects part that come with them, which include some blast effects and some jet effects. And by intent, the jet effects double as a sword.
Yeah, or like a nail or something like that.
Or a lance?
Yeah, something like that. Something big and pointy.
Yeah, so we see him here next to the G2 version of Vulcan. No, yeah, he looks good, to be honest. I always liked this design for Shockwave. And I had the Fall of Cybertron Shockwave toy. It was one of the only ones I got from that line. And I spent a long time trying to justify it. But a long time telling people it was a great toy.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, because they're like, listen, I mean, there's a budget restriction, but it's really good for what it is.
To be fair, for the budget restriction, it was one of the better ones.
Yes.
In your defense.
For what it is. But I've grown up now, and we can say what it is usually a cop-out. Yeah. But, no, I think it looks good. It looks very posable. Comes with all the gear and everything else. Apparently can sort of go into a launching stance, which is interesting. But no, what do you think of him, Mandy?
I mean, if you're a scale whore, this is probably going to piss you off because Grimlock's not nearly as big as he should be, one could argue.
There is that.
But, you know, what can they do? Like you, I think the effects parts are nice. It's nice that they've got a little bit of customization to them. I wouldn't say I'm disappointed, but I always think a Shockwave looks better if it has a yellow eye rather than just a clear purple eye, even though that's the version that was in the game. Yeah. I think the yellow eye stands out a lot more and has a nice bit of contrast to it versus just more purple. But I mean, it looks exactly like it should do, so it's hard to begrudge it.
No, it's looking good.
Yeah, it looks like a solid little boy. But we kind of talked about it last time, so I guess there's not much really to say there, is there?
Yeah. Not really, no.
No, I'll take us on because it's another quickie. Zeta Toys show off a Superion, which is Super Etron. What a dumb name. It's a metallic version, metallic and clear version. My apologies. Of the Zeta Toys masterpiece scale Superion. It's going to be limited to 500 units. So if you like them metallic-y and see-through-y, you know, you can get your pre-orders in, as its planned release is going to be January 2021. So it's quite close. It's coming out quite soon. Won't be too far away. What do you think of this, Mikey? Because I feel this kind of drips into the first story a bit of the, okay, cool, question mark?
Yeah, definitely question mark. I mean, I'm not sure. They're saying they're only doing 500 units of each. Maybe I can see people wanting the metallic version because people do like them shinies. But I would struggle for you to convince me that there's a huge demand for a transparent version of Superion.
I would have thought like there'd be more G2 people that would want a G2 version versus a translucent.
No. G2 isn't real, Andy. Only G1 matters.
No, that's not true. That's impossible.
Andy, when they did G2 Ramjet, They had the Ramjet figure and they did him in G2. Did they do him as a G2 figure really?
Yeah.
No, they did him as Sandstorm, who's G2.
That is the G2 one.
Yeah, came out in G2. It's not G2. It's not your G2. How's
it not my G2?
Because I can look at it directly in standard light without going blind.
It's still G2 though. And it's more than likely they will be doing G2 Dirge Ramjet, isn't it? Yeah. I think he's on the list of ones that they're going to be doing anyway. I think we talked about that. Listen, so he is coming.
My point is, shut up. But yeah. Also, I remember Superion not looking great in G2.
Yeah, he was very blue. It was kind of a standard color scheme, I'd say, since Superion was blue, and one of them was maybe it was Slingshot. I can't remember. One of them was gold plastic. I'm pretty sure about that.
Yeah.
So he died.
Yeah. But I'm just not in love with it, to be honest. It's an interesting enough idea, and I'm sure there's a market. And yes, it's a blue with red and gold. He had a gold arm.
Yeah, pretty much.
Now. So, that's kind of my overall. Like, it's weird. I don't think it looks bad.
No,
I should say, but it's just like,
I think we are really desensitized to clear plastic versions and metallic versions of third-party toys, as well as Hasbro toys at this point, because it's just like, well, it's just what they do at this point, really, isn't it? Not to mention they got to kind of put it out a few times, so yeah, a metallic version are clear.
Not to mention the inherent concern of, oh no, clear plastic.
Yeah, how long till it blows up potentially?
And how much is this?
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's a third-party combiner, masterpiece scale, so not cheap, I would imagine. I'd say probably 500 to 600, maybe 300 to 600, maybe 300 to 600.
I don't want that to explode.
No, nor I. Not for that much. I don't want anything to explode, but especially for 300 to 600, definitely I don't want that happening. Mikey, do you want to take
my desires?
Do you want to take us on to the last two bits of news? Because we're pretty much all done.
Yep,
at least the last bit has some meat to it.
It's a bit of a quiet week.
Right.
This guy's leaked. We haven't had any confirmation or anything, but we do have in-hand samples of a War for Cybertron Earthrise barricade. So this is the Prowl / Blue Streak redone into barricade again with the Blue Streak head, which still looks very strange. I will say I think it's a good color scheme on the mold. I think they have him next to the Siege one, kind of highlighting the fact that it's really hard to tell these guys apart on a glance. But
yeah, they are different though. They are definitely different, but I know what you mean.
Yeah. But I do think he looks better.
Yes.
I think his proportions are a little nicer. I definitely think his color layout is better. And I like his head sculpt a little bit more.
Oh, I like the head sculpt less, to be honest. I think the other one has more personality to it. Probably because the other one is just so blue streak. I think that's my issue.
It's all I can see that. But we also see him next to the other Datsun boys, and he looks like a black one. Honestly, if I was getting this mold, he'd be the one I'd be interested in.
Over Prowl.
I don't really like Prowl's look in this too much.
Okay, why is that? Is it he's 2G1?
I don't know. I look at him and just like, he's very, like, with Barricade, I think his colors break it up more, whereas I think with Prowl, he just looks really fucking blocky. And I think the chest looks better on Barricade, the remolded chest.
Okay.
And I think his legs have been remolded a bit as well, and don't quote me on that. But, what do you think of it?
Wow, that was a good sentence. I love it. I always wish that they'd give Barricade at least a different head sculpt. I always wish that. Like, I don't mind them just doing a basic repaint, but give him a different head at the very least, just to because we used to do that at one point. We used to have a slight different head remold.
No, Andy, that didn't happen.
Because I don't like the idea that we have the Datsun car. We already get 3 colors of it, with a slight remold, of course. But now we have to have another one on top of that. It feels like we're trying to make the Datsuns the Seekers, even more so than they already are. I don't want to see, like, in the future, like, 6 or 7 or 8 versions of the Datsuns. just with very slightly different heads.
See, you say the future. That's more like the present.
Yeah, I sorry, I should clarify and say continuing. Like, it goes even further. And, like, there's a red car, primarily a red car and a primarily yellow car. You know, that kind of stuff. I don't want to see that, even though we're kind of already there. I'd like Barricade to be his own thing more so than anything else, but I think we're past that point where he was allowed to be. He was adopted by the movies into G1, and it's just, he will just be a repaint. And it's like, oh, okay. But like you said, the colors on him do look nice. I think my big sticking point is the head. If the head was different, I'd be more interested in getting it. Since I'd never get the Autobots anyway, you know.
Because you're a racist.
That's right. Good guys are losers. What about the last bit then, Mikey? The big bit.
This is the big bit. We had another Fan Friday. I didn't actually know this was coming. And we had quite a few announcements coming out of this for Studio Series and several exclusive lines. So we'll go through this by order. So first up, we had the confirmation of Studio Series 86, the movie-inspired Studio Series line, which is basically more G1, but in theory, more interesting characters than Optimus, Prowl, Ironhide, Megatron, Starscream, Soundwave.
Well, you say that, but it'll just be the ones locked to the movie, theoretically.
In theory, but we'll see. The movie's got a big cast of characters that, like, Windcharger doesn't have a toy.
Oh, wow, are you suggesting they'll do Windcharger, dead Windcharger with a hole in his chest?
Considering one of the characters on this is not known for his movie appearance, despite the fact he is in it. Yeah. But, so, first up, we have a Deluxe Jazz. So, obviously, this is done to match the G1 model. This is the first time we've had an original Jazz mold in about 7 or 8 years, I think, because the only other time he's had a toy is Combiner Wars, I want to say, and that was a repaint.
Yeah, and then before that was the Generations.
Yeah, which I still like a lot.
Yeah, it's a good one. He had a really funky gun.
Yeah, yep, and the Ricochet looks great in that.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, we see it. We have Jazz here. He looks vaguely Porsche-esque. He has the big spoiler. He has a silly gun on his roof, and in robot mode, he's a pretty good approximation of the cartoon model.
Yeah.
I wish he had the door wings. I always prefer Jazz with the door wings, but obviously I know why they're not here.
Yeah, I think it's nice that they're not here, because it feels like it's the first time he hasn't had the door wings for an official toy.
I'm trying to think now. It's been a good long while if it has.
The Generations definitely had the door wings.
Yeah,
I don't remember
if
the Combiner Wars one did. It probably did.
Don't know, because the Combiner Wars was a retool, so it depends on the original toy, you know?
Yeah, who was the original toy he was done off?
It was a car, one of the girls. Wouldn't it be from Victorion?
Was it?
Let's see. Let's do some research.
Yeah, some fucking research. It's almost like we're a Transformers podcast or something.
Son! Research.
I guess while you have a look for research, I'll get one of the boring bits out of the way, which is they showed off the Devastator gift set from Revenge of the Fallen.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, it's what you would expect, and it has a backdrop of the pyramids where you could see his testicles. So
Yay!
That's how I remember Devastator. Balls swinging in the winds, baby.
Does he have balls?
You'll probably be able to get them from Doctor Wu in the future when they do an upgrade kit.
Fiendish.
Dr. Wu.
Fiendish.
Or somebody else.
So he was Power of the Primes. And he was an original mold. He was an original mold.
In Power of the Primes?
He was original mold.
Oh.
He was an original mold in Power of the Primes. Because remember, Power of the Primes is basically just all the leftover Combiner Wars idea.
Who was done off of him? Did anybody use him?
Ricochet. He's a new mold that reuses the wheels and Combiner peg of Dragstrip. But he didn't have wings there either. That was the MAGA one.
Oh, yeah, okay, I see this one. Yeah, this was a really bad figure. That was a terrible Jazz.
I've never actually played with it. I've still, because I am a contrarian, I want the original run of it, but I've never, I wouldn't open it. I'd just have it, like, it would just be there, staring, judging. Yeah,
I'm not sure if there were, like, I think most of the Power of the Primes line was just bad. As in, like, all the figure's qualities were bad.
An afterthought.
Yeah. They were either bad quality or badly designed, and this Jazz toy was one of them. I remember not liking touching him at all. And to be fair, though, this one doesn't have door wings, but he's very, very broad in comparison to the Studio Series, which looks much more like you'd hope a Jazz would look.
So I think he looks cool. I think he looks pretty good. Good colors as well.
Yeah. What's his background? Do we know what the background is that he's coming with?
I'm looking, but I don't know if it's here. Jazz
comes
with the Arc or Teletran.
Yeah, it's it's when he was talking to Moonbase 2. He was going,
yeah.
Moonbase 2.
That when he was talking to us.
Yeah, that's right.
We ignored you, Jazz. We let you get eaten.
Yeah, well, you deserved it.
You and all your friends. Next up, we have Cup, who we've seen before.
Yep.
And properly transformed does look better.
But still, not for me.
Still trying to be something that's not easy to represent in toy form.
Yeah. Oh, do we know if... I know I'm going back on this. Do we know if Jazz has a weird gimmick?
I don't see one. He's got a gun. He doesn't seem to come with anything interesting.
Yeah, unlike Cup, who we must remember can be pulled apart because that's his most memorable thing.
They actually have that in the promo pictures that you can disassemble him. And his background is that big squid.
Yeah, that's appropriate, I suppose, especially since you can disassemble him. That makes sense.
Yeah, he turns into the pickup truck, and he comes with an Energon goodie that you can stick in the side of his vehicle mode. Which makes it look like a little radio. So yeah, but I think for what Cup is fighting the flood of physics would be the way I'd put it. Next up we have, I think this guy's new, Deluxe Blur, who almost works for me.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen... I think you're right, though. I think this is the first time we've seen him.
Blur almost works. It's the arms that ruin it for me.
I 100% agree. I think the vehicle mode is as good as you're going to get it, though it looks like it's hiding some undercarriage. But yeah, the fact that the... What do we call those? The nose points of the vehicle mode?
They're the side of the car, so whatever those are in the car terms.
Yeah, whatever those things
are. People who know
just...
cars, tell us.
Well, this is a feature car nonsense, so who fucking knows? But yeah, the fact that they're just kind of slung underneath the forearms, kind of like the original generation G1 toy, the original one.
Or the Titan's Return one, but although I think the Titan's Return one pulled it off better than this.
Yeah, they seem to be a lot thinner. But yeah, they are very noticeable. It's a shame that there's, I guess, no way to make them smoother because the rest of him looks all right.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, no, the rest of him looks pretty on point, really.
Yeah.
And he comes with a background from Autobot City.
Yes.
Then we have Scourge, who we finally see him fall, and Scourge looks as good as he did before.
Yeah, he's got an energy effect part. That seems to be his thing.
Yeah, he's got an energy effect part. He got a gun. He turns into a flying shoe.
Can he have a melty effect so he just starts melting? Put him in the microwave, I suppose it'll do it for him.
I like his background because it's the scanning scene.
Yeah, that's very good.
I really like that. I think, was it something here? They say, like, Scourge, whoever he is. Like, because I remember reading something about this where it Okay, no. Okay, so Unicron reformats Thundercracker into Scourge. So you're saying he's Scourge, so it's Cyclonus who's going to be whoever he is.
Oh, so they finally canonized it, have they?
Who knows? Who cares?
Oh, okay. People care.
Yeah, but they shouldn't. Next up is the Voyager, not very tall, but comes with a ton of accessories hot rod.
Mm-hmm.
We see him posing a lot more here, and he does look like his arms have way more posability than I was expecting.
Yeah, same actually.
So I think he looks decent. And I like the accessory count on him. And lastly of these initial runs, we have the leader, Grimlock with Wheelie. So this is a Grimlock that comes with a non-transforming Wheelie to ride around on him. What do you think of him?
I think he's fairly decent for the most part. He looks like, he's a lot better than the Power of the Primes version. He actually looks like Grimlock. He looks like he can transform, though he does look like he'll have a lot of junk in his trunk. Like girl's got a fat ass for a dinosaur. He's got a real fat ass. It's odd though that he has the toy neck and head instead of the animation version.
I kind of hate him.
Ah, that's weird. I did hear a lot of people like sending me messages saying, "Why can't Mikey ever be happy?" I can be, you shits. And I actually frequently am. I'm very happy with some stuff this week. So my G1 exhaustion, not a secret. Okay. Yes.
But I was kind of excited for this guy.
The knowledge of him before you saw him, or when you saw him.
Because there is one G1 thing no Transformers toy has ever done, which is the G1 show model. Ever. Not a single one has done that. They've all either been based on the toy, or they've been a hybrid of the two designs, or they've been an original take. And I thought it would be really cool to have that simplified G1 design that we all remember. Like, some liberties taken, of course, because of physics, but it would be really neat. And I was kind of excited for it. What I got was a crappier version of the Masterpiece toy. This is almost identical to the Masterpiece toy in design. Like that, he's got the see-through neck. The paint job on the robot mode's a bit different, but like it's just it's kind of like the Seeker syndrome with the Classics toy, except I'm really annoyed by it.
Okay, yeah.
Because for the first time you were doing something G1 that I actually wanted. And I was really kind of excited for, and it's like it goes completely against the design aesthetic of what this whole line is trying to do.
It does seem to be an odd choice.
This is an Earthrise thing. I would put fucking money down this was originally supposed to be an Earthrise.
Yeah.
Because this is what Earthrise has been doing. Like, they have frequently taken other toys, scaled them down, or at least tried to take the aesthetics of another toy and scale it down. Or scale it up, or whatever. But this is taking a very lovable, but highly flawed figure, and making it crapper and cheaper.
Wow.
And I kind of hate it. And it actually, my exhaustion for G1 went from dipping down as I was enjoying what I was seeing from the other ones, because I think they look good, to hitting this guy, and I actually feel angrier at G1 because the one time I thought being G1 would be interesting, you fucking failed. And I he doesn't look anything like the model from the movie.
No, I think it's fair to say that you're right. He does look like the Masterpiece toy, especially in dinosaur mode. And
the dinosaur mode, especially, like the way they've like made compromises in the dinosaur mode, make his dinosaur mode look worse than the Masterpieces.
How so?
Well, like his gigantic ass.
Yeah.
His tinier head, the cheaper looking plastic, the crapper hands. I mean, the robot mode looks fine for a Grimlock.
Yeah.
But it isn't the show robot mode, or it's not trying to be.
No, it doesn't seem to be. I've got the show model on Google, having a look at it, and it's like, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I'm really annoyed by this, and I was not expecting to be at all. This caught me completely off guard. And it's one of those moments of like, you had me. You had me. All you had to do was do the thing you said you were going to do. And you didn't do it. And also, I want the names of whoever's sending you those messages, please.
They did send. They did give you a wheelie though, so you get a wheelie with him.
Oh, good. I'll join the masses who are desperate for a wheelie.
Do you remember season 1 Grimlock?
Yeah, I do quite well.
Yeah. Do you remember when a small boy booped his nose?
But like the thing is, like there is the first SOS Dinobots. There's a brief scene where they use a model that's based off of the toy, which has a lot more of the detail and the rivets and stuff.
Oh, you don't think that's the reason they did that, did they?
No, I think it might be. Or I think that's like because of their toy thing for certain characters. But you had one job. Like, if you're not going to give me my super cool, realistic, semi-realistic T-Rex Grimlock, at least do the one you're supposed to be doing. You know, without the see-through neck. I kind of hate him. I don't want to. I'll still buy him because I'm obsessive, but he's definitely a sale buy. Like,
oh, okay, yeah.
Definitely. Like, I'll spend my money on Megatron, the Beast Wars Megatron first. Thank you very much. But because that thing looks awesome. Yeah, no, I came away. I spent like a day and a half just slowly losing my mind on the Twitter feed because I was just like, I keep coming back to how surprised I am that I'm this angry something isn't G1 after the last year and a half.
I think if anything was going to make you angry, it would have been the character that you have the most affection for, to be fair. But they
said they'd do one thing.
Yeah.
It's 86. It's movie inspired. This is not movie inspired.
It's inspired by the toy that was around in 86.
No, it wasn't. I think it was off shelves by then.
It was reissued at that point.
They had a 2-year lifespan.
Yeah.
So everyone else was being killed off, remember? That's why everyone else got murdered, Andy.
It got reissued in a gold box at some point.
I think that was later.
Yeah, probably. It's
but
almost the same.
So I'm sorry for not enjoying anything. But
hey, remember, Mikey, I'm dead inside. So.
Yeah, but you're going to pay for that one, lads. And lassies. But yeah, so he's kind of making me hate the others in retrospect, despite the fact I actually kind of like them.
Okay.
Because he's dragging them down. Like, I don't want to, because I wouldn't mind trying that hot rod, or I wouldn't mind the Scourge or the Jazz.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have to, like, I'll be walking through Smith's one day, I'm going to see him, and I'm going to just start punching the box.
Just start getting angry.
And it was like, sir, please stop. And I'm just, like, throwing boxes of Grimlocks at store attendants. It's like, he's wrong! He's wrong!
I just walk up to the guy in the shop and says, the night is his time. You can kill him now, but he'll come back at night stronger and madder.
I saw a lot of people get mad he doesn't have the sword, and I'm just pointing out that sword barely appears in the entire run of the show.
But to be fair, if they're doing basically one based on the toy, which they clearly are.
Yeah, then yes, the sword should be part of it.
Yeah, the sword should be there. Because he's even got the translucent bit over his boob as well, like the toy.
Yeah, what do you want to bet that was originally a translucent bit of plastic?
What if this was actually meant to be for Power of the Primes?
I think this was for Earthrise. I genuinely think this is meant to be an Earthrise toy that's been shoveled over.
It'd be interesting if that was the case.
Like maybe they didn't want to put him in the show or something like that. But
we have suspected like there'd be crossover with this line and the Earthrise line because of Cyclonus, and clearly Galvatron's coming out in Earthrise as well. In Kingdom, I should say. And
that would kind of explain why Jazz is here.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't want to harp on because apparently I can't enjoy anything.
I do have a quick question before we move on for the 86 line. From the 86 movie, who would you like to see get done? Since Ultra Magnus isn't happening because he's in Kingdom, because he's getting an Earth vehicle mode in Kingdom. We've seen, I think, most of the cast.
We've already basically had Springer. Maybe a repaint of Springer without all the guff.
It's unlikely we'd get a new Springer.
Unlikely we'll get an RC.
Because we've just got her.
And she's being re-released anyway.
Yeah.
Insecticons would be neat.
Okay, yeah. You could kind of sort of justify doing it.
They were in the movie. Wreck-Gar would be nice.
Yeah, the Wreck-Gar would be the most obvious one for them to do, I guess.
We're doing Galvatron, we're doing Cyclonus, we're doing Sweeps.
Yep.
The rest are kind of generic Decepticons on that side. Astrotrain, maybe? Although we've had so many Astrotrains lately.
Yeah.
On the Autobot side, who would be kind of... Do you know what? Honestly, I'd like Kranix.
Technically, we have Kranix, though.
Yeah, but I want to like a deluxe scale Kranix.
You want to transform in Kranix?
Or
you can transform into bits.
Yeah. Or do the Exo Armor.
Oh no, don't do that. I don't want Spike and I don't want Daniel.
You do.
No, I don't.
Little transforming toy with a human head in the middle of it. Do Carly.
I hate the humans.
Give it to Carly. Carly was fine. Carly did nothing wrong.
Do you know how you sell me on a human Spike figure?
Is it referencing the Legends comic?
It is referencing the Legends comic.
I want a dead Spike lying there with the life leaving his eyes.
I want a hole in his chest.
Comes with the Quintesson. There it is. Yes. The Quintesson re-release.
Yeah, exactly.
Quintesson repack with dead Spike.
Oddly, though, I think with the figures we've seen for the 86 line, we pretty much have all of the proper main focus characters for the movie.
Like that's one of the reasons, like I'd say Windcharger or something like that, because that's a guy who's in the movie for 14 seconds, or actually not even that long. But
it's more justified doing the rest of the Dinobots at that point, though, isn't it?
Yeah, well, they said like one of the leaks was Slag, or Slug, I suppose, will come out as. But
do you think Snell's going to get ignored like he was in the movie?
Oh man, I'd laugh my ass off.
Sorry, Snell.
I'm actually just I'm looking through the list. Blaster, I think, would be good.
Blaster. Oh yeah. I forgot he was there briefly.
Just looking through the list now. Preceptor, maybe. Although don't know. We've had a lot of Preceptors.
Yeah, like you say, it feels like we've had Preceptors, but I guess you could do Preceptor as well, even though he's not in the movie a lot himself.
No, but he does have at least, speaking roles.
He does, it's true.
I mean, you could retool Starscream to make him more G1.
No, you couldn't. I don't think you could. You just smooth him out, basically. Well, they could do that, actually.
the smooth Shockwave.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't be as cool as better Shockwave, who is the greatest Transformers.
With all the guns.
Yep.
Maybe they'll do a Shockwave, because clearly the one from Siege is not G1 Shockwave, and I guess the problem is G1 Shockwave isn't in the movie that much, to be fair.
And yeah, like that's the thing. Like 86, when you actually think about it, there's not many characters to actually do. There's the Dinobots.
You could argue yes, there is, but if you're talking about speaking roles that have actual parts in the film rather than die.
Or let me say, like, okay, there's not that many who have speaking roles who haven't already had toys.
Yeah.
So if you could stick them all in, but I'd be real annoyed if you did a bunch of re-releases of Earthrise toys in the middle of that line.
You could see it.
While you're re-releasing, like, Earthrise Optimus Prime re-released in both Kingdom and Studio Series. But yeah, so anyway, Studio Series 86 could be quite a short line now we think about it.
Yeah.
But next up we have the Amazon exclusive Galactic Odyssey Micron 6-pack. This is not the 6-pack you drink. This is not the 6-pack you develop. So this is a collection of Micromaster type characters. The backstory is in top secret side missions during the events of Earthrise. Autobots and the bad guys encounter unfamiliar planets, find epic adventures, and face unknown dangers. Now fans can come along for the journey. Encounter Micron Micromasters. No. Autobot Micromasters
Micros transform.
Are sent to retrieve plasma energy from the planet Micron. They are pursued by Decepticons. Blah blah blah. Classic Micromaster conversion. Pack of 1 to 5. We've got Fireguard, Roadburner, Runner, Motorhead, Windstorm, and Sting Racer. So 6 guys. They are are they mini cons?
What? No.
What are they? No, I mean the actual. That's the characters, but I'm talking about the toys. Or are they original toys?
You mean are they reusing molds?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just reusing the Micromaster molds. I think some of them have been retooled, but only briefly.
But they've got joints and things.
Yeah, the Micromasters have joints in the Earthrise line.
Earthrise has Micromasters?
Yeah. Same for Siege.
No, Earthrise has roads.
Yeah, it had some Micromasters. They weren't sold over here in the UK, but
they did. I thought they just had they had the gun fellas with Siege, and then you had the road people. I didn't think you had actual Micromasters.
Yeah, the Micromasters exist. That's why they did the Micromaster bases as well.
Well, now I'm just confused.
Yeah, because I bought some of them and I told you about them a few weeks ago when I had the Airstrike team.
You think I listened to you?
Maybe sometimes. I'd hope so.
What?
Yep.
What?
Yep.
I love you, Andy. Never think anything different. But I think these guys look cute. I mean, it's Micromasters. I'll never, ever, 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 ever get excited, but I think they're cute.
I'm a little disappointed that they're just... It seems like they're just really basic repaints. And like I say, maybe some slight retools. The set seems to consist of 4 Autobots and 2 Decepticons. The 2 Decepticons are the sports cars. So technically you'll be able to complete... Oh, no. Can you? No, you can. Yeah, you'll be able to complete the Decepticon sports car team if you get this set. Because 2 of them are already out, and these 2 will complete that set. So it'll be one of the few that actually will have the full 4 team together. I'm kind of interested in these because I like the Decepticons. The Micromasters are okay. And I also have a great feeling that these are not going to be wanted by a lot of people, so will probably go on sale. Because a lot of people don't care about Micromasters, and they don't... Well, at least they don't care enough about them as I do. Especially compared to, like, what did we have before with the Odyssey set? We had Shattered Glass stuff, which is up in the air, and there was only one decent figure in there. Ho, ho, ho.
Ho, ho, ho.
We had the Seekers, Thundercrack and the Skywarp, or Ramjet and Thrust or Dirge, whichever one.
Yeah.
Maybe both of those, maybe only one of them, and then I think the only other thing we had was Prowl and Ironhide. So, main staple characters. Micromasters clearly aren't main staple characters. So, yeah, if they can be gotten cheap, like I hope they can, I'll be getting it. If they get silly expensive or they become tricky to get, I'll be like, oh well, I'll just miss them.
Will you fight Andy Turnbull for them?
No. Why would I have to?
Because he'll win. And do you want to lose?
I'm not sure why I'd have to though.
Because it's just going to be you and him fighting for Micromasters.
But we only need one each. There's more than one.
The ultimate battle.
No. Never.
Do it. Fight.
Never.
Fight for my love.
No. That's it. Micromaster wise, I suppose.
Next up, we have 2 exclusives. I believe they're Target. Are they Target?
Is that what they are? Oh,
yes, they are Target exclusives. So we have the Deluxe Earthrise Runabout, who is the black one. I know that because it's the one in the picture. Just to go with Runamuck, who's the other one. Don't tell me I didn't learn anything. Honestly, I think he looks great. I think he looks really good. The color is really popping him. I like the head sculpt. I really like him.
I mean, he's definitely a repaint into black.
I like him better than the white one. So
yeah, I to be fair, I think when you get both of them, they work well together as a set. But if you're only going to get one, the black one looks more interesting. But I wouldn't say that either of them are the most interesting characters or the most interesting visually or anything like that. They have characters? Yeah.
All I remember is I believe one of them got their head caved in IDW after the head had been removed.
Yeah, I was they were in like Infiltration where they had the biggest role ever, as far as I know. Maybe they had a bigger role in the Marvel
They did what Thundercracker told them to do.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that wasn't really Thundercracker. That was someone pretending to be Thundercracker. But that wasn't our wonderful movie director. And the other one is a Voyager Thrust, who threw me off because he's got the fans on his side, not his legs. And then I did some checking back over the picture and just like, oh yeah, that's what it originally was. It's frequently redesigned the other way around. And it it's one of those things that's just like, oh yeah.
Yeah, it's easy to forget.
Yeah, but yeah, because, the tune models and everything else. But I think he looks okay. I think the fans are too big.
Okay.
And it looks a bit more like he's dragging a cape around.
Don't you think that's kind of appropriate for his model? I
think I would have liked it to look just a little less like it was just 2 things hanging off his butt.
Okay, fair enough.
Because it doesn't help that the wings are originally designed, and you can kind of tell that they're supposed to be going up.
I can see that.
I think the core robot mode looks fine. Okay. And as always, I fight for the days single releases of Ramjet come out that I can afford.
Oh, Mikey. Oh.
His vehicle mode looks basically like the old classics Thrust. Head sculpt is decent. I think he turned out okay. I'm not negative on him. It's just like, he's got a lot in the trunk.
That's true. I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, for me, it's just like it's another one of the Conehead Seekers. I don't have much to say about it. It looks like Thrust. Cool.
The last thing of note is the Walmart exclusive Retro Headmasters line.
What?
Which came out of fucking nowhere. But this is a sub-line of 4 Titan Master figures, which have been repainted into duller colors. More sort of, I'd say, G1 toy colors. Would that be accurate?
Maybe, kind of.
With the heads from the Takara releases.
Yep.
So the easiest one to point out, Chrome Dome, instead of having a Morden Meets the Eye styled head, he has a very G1 head. Yes. So yeah, if you were interested in those ages back and you never got to get a hold of them, this is your opportunity. We've got Brainstorm, Chrome Dome, Hardhead, and Mindwipe. Lonely Mindwipe.
Oh.
Making me think there's probably a second wave of these coming out at some point, because it's really weird that we have 3 of the Autobot Headmasters and only 1 Decepticon. But hey, if you have been buying the Decepticon Headmasters from recently in the horror cons, and you missed out on any of these guys, there's your opportunity. I remember you being quite into the Takara releases of these.
Yeah, I got all the Decepticon ones eventually. I didn't get any of the Autobot ones because I don't care about the Autobots. But if this is a cheaper option,
yeah,
maybe I guess
Yeah.
I wouldn't be outright no to them. I would agree with you though that I mean we only have the 3 here. Are they? No, I think they are. Like Chrome Dome's definitely his cartoon colors. Brainstorm, it's a bit like with Brainstorm. I don't know about you, but if you look at the yellow on his face, it doesn't look like a nice yellow.
No,
it looks like it's been painted over the light blue plastic, but not desperately well. So I can't say I'm thrilled about that. And the hard head, the hard head looks, I'd say as good as the Japanese version, I suppose. It's hard to tell. Problem is they don't go with the cool comics.
Yeah, Mindwipe's covering his face for some reason.
He's sad.
No. But no, I mean, I can tell you I like the Chrome Dome as a toy, and I like the Mindwipe, although Mindwipe's not perfect. He's got problems, but it's one of the more interesting figures they've done.
I would agree. I don't think any of these are perfect.
No.
Like, they all have their own individual issues here and there, but
foibles.
Yeah, they're okay. They're fairly decent, and it's not like we're gonna get many new Headmasters in the future. I would say with safety.
I don't know. Like they keep swinging back. Like if we go on this route, they'll basically go through everything up to Headmasters again and go back to the start of G1.
Maybe.
See, I like you paused there because you think I might be right.
Yeah, but I also don't have faith that they'd be willing to stray too far away from like season 1 G1, as we've been dancing around that for like as me and you've complained many a time, Wolf Cybertron and Siege.
Even when they're doing Beast Wars, it's accompanied with G1.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this is an interesting mix. It's quite a lot of toys to get revealed in one day. I'd be curious to see if Studio Series 86 goes much beyond a wave or two more, rather.
You gotta wonder what's gonna happen with that, because if I guess we can only assume, or have to assume, that they must be getting close to being done with all of the live action movie figures, and if that's the case, and they're moving on to the animated movie, well, they're nearly done with that. So what happens to the Studio Series? Do they just end it? Like, what happens then?
I don't know. Like,
maybe they should end it and do like the Unicron trilogy stuff for the people who like maybe don't like the Unicron trilogy show, but maybe like the Unicron trilogy toys. Like, I'll accept that.
Yeah, I'd love a decent version of that Prime design.
Hey, what about that Armada Optimus Prime we saw all that time ago? Smell the sleeping salts.
I'm maybe not like that Megatron design. I have a love-hate relationship with, but
the Armada one, you mean?
Yeah. So I mean, a decent toy of that would be nice. The last one we got was a Combiner Wars retool, which worked for what it was.
It was. I don't know. I think it was based on a bad Transformer Megatron. To be fair.
Yep. But...
And he had those weedy little horns, which weren't as big as they should be. It's disappointing. Armada Starscream would be a nice one to get a new one of. I mean, we got the Generations one, which was alright, but... Yeah.
Decent size with a gimmick would be nice.
Yes.
But, like, see, that's the thing. Like, I'd love if Studio Series moved into, okay, here's this generation of toys, here's this generation of toys, here's blah, blah, blah. But we all know what's going to happen.
What are they going to do, Mikey?
They're going to do G1, and they're going to like start padding out with repaints for the movies, like repaint the characters, or maybe they'll start doing like comic characters for the movies.
That'd be weird a lot of for toys a line that's meant to be movie wise.
But yeah, but what I mean is like they had a lot of comics for the movies with characters.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So I don't know, like there are toys from the movie era that never got fiction or never got anything in the actual films.
Is this how we get like the Zone Transformers? Because it was technically a movie, even though it was just a one-off animated OVA.
Listen, if that gets us Predaking with included brain, like I don't care. Let's go buy for it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
This is how we get victory. This is how we get the Detsars we should have gotten.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah,
that'd be nice.
But yeah, that's really it. And unless you've anything to add.
No, not particularly. It's going to be interesting to see where Transformers... I think you and I have both been saying this for a while. It's going to be interesting to see what Transformers does. Like when when the Studio Series ends, when the trilogy of Kingdom ends, like what's happening after that? Because they seem to keep saying that they like the idea of doing a trilogy format. But I don't really know what that means, like, what do they do after this? How do they move on? Do they just restart again?
I'm very curious to see if John Warden leaving will actually have an effect on the design intent.
You'd have to believe it does. It has to, right?
Theoretically, unless someone from higher up says what John Warden did was working, do more of it.
Yeah, that could be a good point, actually. Maybe they go for the trilogy of the Unicron trilogy and go, well, it's 3 chapters, go for it.
We're going to spend all our time on Energon, the favourite.
Oof. It did have some good toys in there. Some.
Most of which weren't in the show.
That's true. but yeah, the Scorponok in that line was a really good figure.
Yeah, I did the Dark Cybertron one. I really like that.
Yeah. Obviously, they also had some really messy figures in that line as well.
Yeah, 1 or 2.
1 or 2, definitely. Like, that Megatron was not great, bless it.
Oh, I tried.
Yeah, I mean, it was show accurate. It was just a bad CG model into the bad toy.
Well, no, it's more like a bad toy that they did a bad CG model of.
Yeah, but no, that's fair.
Because they scanned up a toy and put it in.
Yeah.
Or they used the CAD model, whatever they were using at the time.
Oh, what if they go straight on from Kingdom, Mikey, and do Beast Wars 2nd and Neo? That'd be fun.
I mean, I wouldn't say no.
No, hell yeah. We could get Galvatron and we could get Magmatron.
Karada.
Yeah, fuck yeah, Karada. Break. Yeah. They could try and make a decent break, because Break's
we could
toys not
get one
great.
in a little club and call them Pentas.
Yeah, oh, mate, that'd be ace. We could get all the technically, yeah, if they did like Dinobot and stuff like that, they could just retool them and do them as the Decepticon
the Cyber
things. Yeah, Cyber Beasts, that's them. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Then
if they really wanted, they could put out Triptychon again.
Yeah, Starscream and BB.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
a new version of that with the combining gimmick. I think that would be super cool.
Yeah, potentially.
Because that's a toy that's aged remarkably well.
Yeah, G2 toy that really did. It held its own for a long time. It had some really good articulation and gimmicks.
I still enjoy picking up that mold and messing about with it.
Yeah, both BB and the Starscream are solid figures.
Yep,
really good.
Yeah, well, that's me really.
Yeah, same here. Me too. So I guess with all the news done, Mikey, what you been up to this week? What you did for fun, son?
Had a lot of caffeine.
Oh, yay. Is that good? I don't know.
No, I think I'm having a heart attack.
Oh, no.
Bleh. But what did I do? I forgot to mention this last week, and I can't imagine why I forgot. But Primal came back for the second part of season 1.
Yay.
It's 2 episodes in. There's another episode airing tonight, and I'm watching it on the Adult Swim website with the VPN thing.
Ooh.
So I am contributing to all their advertising revenue because Americans have so many ads. But turns out this really good show is still really good.
What?
So the first episode is following on directly from episode 5. So it's kind of a little bit of a spoiler thing, but one of them's badly injured, and it's the other one caring for them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got some really, really good moments. It's very low key, good music, good everything, crazy fight scene at the end. But a lot of good character moments in that one, actually. And the next one is the one that aired in April, which is about the big zombie dinosaur.
Okay.
Which is the most violent, in many ways, episode. Certainly the most graphic episode in the series, where it's just like, get as brutal as possible for as long as possible. And there's some real sick Halloween imagery in it. The next one that's airing tonight is called Covenant of the Damned. So I'll probably stay up late and watch that. But it turns out that this incredible show is still pretty incredible. I love it. I love it to bits.
Is it Gendy still?
Yep, he's never leaving. They've confirmed season 2 with another 10 episodes. So
wow, they're actually giving Gendy another season on the show.
Yeah,
holy crap.
If he makes it to 3, he's going to be in his top 2 records or something. It'll be this. It'll be this and Samurai Jack. Those will be the longest running Gendy shows.
No,
because he worked. Did he do? He worked on Powerpuff, but he wasn't like the guy for Powerpuff.
What about Dexter?
I think that only went 1 or 2 seasons.
Really, I thought it was much longer for some reason.
It did a movie as well. But there's a lot of Dexter.
That's true.
Lot of Dexter.
Yeah.
Hey, Symbiotic Titan.
Oh, it was such a good show. 1 season, dead. Fuck you, Cartoon Network.
Listen, they didn't do what they did to Megas, which was like they killed it and then they kept on shooting the body.
Oh, Christ, yeah.
Remember that?
I do.
But yeah, so I It's a very straightforward show, but it is, in my opinion, probably the best animation of recent years. I absolutely adore it. So well written, such a good use of character. Like, people go on about the no dialogue thing. I think the music deserves so much credit in this show.
Like when you say people go on about the no dialogue thing, do you mean in a negative way or a positive way?
Well, I was listening to a podcast today, and someone was going like you can never really tell what they're thinking, and I'm not really sure how I feel about that. I was like,
I don't believe that.
That's the fucking point.
I haven't seen the show, but I don't believe that. I think you'd be able to tell what they're thinking by the animation and the music.
So, first episode, after Spear's family gets killed, and I don't mind spoiling this, it's been a year. If you haven't watched it yet, Andy, Spear contemplates suicide. And they were going like, was he trying to kill himself? And just like, he's standing on a cliff and he's looking down, he's trying to walk towards it. No, he thinks he's a bird.
I can't really relate.
That's something they said. Like, maybe
no.
if you've attempted suicide, you would relate to this moment and know what he was thinking. I was like, oh no.
Wow. What a statement to make.
Stop talking. But yeah, no, it's like certainly one of the best animated shows out there at the moment. Cool. Kicks the ass of pretty much anything else. Like, Turtles was probably as well animated in a different style, but Turtle Dad, Primal's still here. Primal also just like so deep. Yeah, and it looks like it's going like crazy, like pulp fantasy going on. Like, realism has gone out the fucking window, and I don't really care. Because, like, I mean, if you're going to do something that's basically was originally supposed to be a take on Conan, you might as well go whole hog.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that's that. Also saw season 3 of Kipo and the Age of the Wonder Beasts, which is the final season. It is unfortunately the weakest season.
Did you say it was the last one?
Yep.
Bummer.
It doesn't end on a bad note, and it's not a bad season. It is the weakest season. Like, if I put the first season in 8, the second season in 7, this is a 6.5.
Right. So
still watchable, still enjoyable. A lot of pacing problems. Real problem with music at the start of it, where they spend too much time in it. The villain is way more two-dimensional than the old villain was.
Okay.
And Kipo feels dumber. Which is weird because they actually confirmed that the whole season was done and dusted before they did it season 1, before they aired it.
Right.
So this isn't a COVID thing. She's just a bit dumber in this one. They kind of play up her purity a bit too much. But there's some really good moments in this. Like, there's a real cool moment with her, like, because she turned into a gigantic killer jaguar, and there's a really cool moment where she considers eating someone. The action where it is usually fairly well coordinated. It's not a lot of action in the Kipo, but it's very heartfelt. I like all the characters in it. Scarlemagne, who was a major character in the previous seasons, is absolutely the runaway favorite for this one. The best voice performance, the best dialogue, and just the most meaningful arc, in my opinion. Really, really like him in this. But yeah, like I said, like it's an enjoyable enough series that I think if they said they always intended it to be 3 seasons, and I think that was wise. There is not enough here for number 4.
Okay.
And it ends in a jump forward to the future, and all the characters together, and Benson's living with his boyfriend, and the character is Wolf riding a giant dog, and it's all very nice. And that's not really spoilers because that's all stuff that basically in episode 1, so I don't care. But Kipo is a fun show, and I think watching it from the start, you will enjoy it all. I won't say it's going to blow your mind. It's not that kind of show. But I think it's reasonable. I saw a funny quote, which blew my mind, actually, because Kipo's pink, because she's not fully human, which is revealed in season 2. And it's not really a very well kept secret. But she's pink, and from day one I was wondering, everyone else has a normal skin tone. Why does no one comment on the fact she's pink?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently it's a holdover from the original concept where everyone would be like multicolored. But they kept her pink to signify she wasn't quite all there. And apparently the producer said, like, well, I thought the shade of pink would be light enough that people wouldn't really thought it'd stand out. Maybe I was wrong. And I was just like, she's bright bubblegum pink.
I think what you're not thinking about, Mikey, is some people are stupid. Right? I don't don't think that's an unfair comment to make. Some people are dumb.
I mean, maybe she won't stand out if you're colorblind.
Yeah, that's true. That's also a thing. Yeah.
But no, like, I like it. And it's a progressive show in a really nice way. Like, there's a really nice approach to progressive thinking and stuff like that. Which I certainly one of the best ones that's done it. Like, outside of something like Dragon Prince. But Dragon Prince hasn't very many flaws in my mind. Or kind of like how Dark Crystal handled it. I think Dark Crystal did very good stuff when it came to approaching progressive topics. But yeah, no, keep it. I would say give it a go. Maybe not necessarily you.
Me.
Yeah, you specifically.
Okay.
I could see this would be a show that you would come away being a bit about, especially when I said like season 3 is a bit of a step down.
Right.
Because I realized I was skimming after a while.
Ooh.
And I realized, it's because like the bits that I'm skimming to they're bits I'm really liking, and I'm just getting over the fluff because they, for some reason, in their final season, decided to pad out episodes.
Oh no!
Especially since it's quite a plot-focused season.
Oh, I hate that shit. I hate it.
Yeah, but yeah, no, like I said, like I think they were wise to end it where it was. It won't go down the Voltron route or the Game of Thrones route. It's like
Christ, I hope it doesn't go down the Voltron route where it just nukes itself.
Yeah, from orbit.
Yeah.
Such a strong start in that show.
Yeah, and then everything went wrong.
What happened? Like, they made everyone angry.
Yeah. They made people who like good storytelling angry, and they made people who wanted charactership angry as well.
Yep. Like, made lots and lots and lots of people angry. It was very... especially since every time they made someone angry, it was usually when they were trying to draw them in.
Yeah.
Which is funny.
It's really impressive.
She-Ra did it better, like, to be honest. Like, She-Ra had a weaker start and kind of a slump for season 2, and then just got better every time. It never hit the highs I think some people think it hit. But it ended on a very strong note.
Okay.
It also basically admitted finally it was not about She-Ra, and just said, it's the Catra show. Which I don't object. I thought she was the best character in it. But apart from that, the only other thing TV-wise I did was I watched Mobile Suit Gundam F91, the movie.
Why?
I was curious.
No, you weren't. Let's be honest. The reason you did was it was the thing before Crossbones. That's
You've no evidence for this.
Yes, I do. The evidence is your constant love of Crossbones and the fact that you've read the manga and you've lamented the fact there's no anime for it.
Shut your face. I did not spend yesterday counting how many Crossbone high grades I'd have to buy to have the full set.
I can't imagine many. Yeah.
9. It's all the same mold.
Damn.
Like, if you want to go Master Grade or Reborn 100, there's a couple of other toys in there, but yeah, it's basically the X1, the X2, the X3, the Skull Heart, full armor, or full cloth, X0, X0 full cloth, which is a custom you have to do by buying a full cloth and then repainting it grey. And then technically number 9 is from Build Fighters, which is the Crossbone Mao, which had the big skull cannon, but it's like, well, if I'm going to go in for a penny, in for a pound.
Did you get the hobby hand thing yet? I can't remember.
Hobby hand? No, he's not in yet.
Is he not? Wow.
No. But, hey, COVID delays. Still haven't gotten my full cloth, so I'll probably get them at the same time at this rate.
I guess, yeah. Well, you'll have to get the reverse color of that when it comes out as an exclusive as well, since that's going to be a thing. I'm
still waiting on my Bound Dock as well.
Man.
Bound Dock, I'm so excited for that one.
Well, I mean, Bound Dock's still fairly new, because even our Irish guy hasn't got his yet, as far as I know.
No,
right?
Yeah, but I basically decided that my favorite Gundam mobile suit aesthetic is Zeta and most of the end.
Yep.
Timeline.
Zeta has the best designs because they're just fucking weird.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, I think like people like Crossbone or Victory or Zeta, they're the ones that really throw off the hardcore Gundam fans. I've noticed, because they're like, they don't look realistic. I'm just like, no one cares. They just look fun.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, Victory is dumb as shit when it for its designs.
I'm not a big fan of Victory, though. I haven't seen a lot of it. I just hate the characters, and I don't like the Victory Gundam.
Oh no, it looks stupid. But one of the bad guys, I think, is basically a Kamen Rider.
Oh really?
Like, it's hilarious. It's basically a bee. As a mech.
Okay. All right.
And it's a Reborn 100, but it's like an exclusive, so it's stupid.
Of course, yeah.
So anyway, for reasons that Andy wants to somehow delve into.
What?
I watched F91.
Yeah.
For my reasons.
Yes.
Of curiosity and moving forward with Gundam, which I have neglected. And I heard this was really bad, and I just wondered how bad it could get. Do you know the story of F91? Not the plot, the actual story behind the production.
No, not at all.
So this was intended to be the 10th anniversary show, right? And it was going to be a 50-episode run. They scripted 13 episodes, but there were massive disputes behind the scene. Like, everyone was clashing with everyone else. And it eventually came down that we'll turn it into a movie with the 13 scripts we have.
Oof.
And a lot of its concepts were actually saved over and brought over to Crossbone. So what they did, they had 13 scripts, and they basically tore them apart and glued them together.
Yay! What could go wrong?
What went right?
I don't know. You saw it. You let me you tell me.
I watched the movie. I could not tell you what the story was if I hadn't seen Crossbone. If I had not read the manga, I couldn't really give you a good... Because it's basically a bunch of space aristocrats have decided that they want basically a monarchy instead of democracy. Invade a colony where their offshoot wayward daughter is. She kind of sort of joins back up, but kind of doesn't because she thinks her boyfriend's dead.
Is that the gingerhead lass?
Yeah, Cecilia Fairchild, who's really cool in Crossbone, by the way. But then it turns out her boyfriend stumbled upon the F91, which his mother was building, and then they beat the bad guy somehow because he decided like he's gonna wipe out all 90% of people on Earth for nature, which came out of fucking nowhere. I have never seen a train wreck quite like this.
Okay.
Because I didn't know who anyone was at all for 40 to 50 minutes until they started saying names.
Right.
Like they introduced you to his name is Seabook.
Yeah, Seabook. I know him from the Dynasty Warrior games. That's it.
Yeah, he's called Kincaid in Crossbone, and I think I prefer that. But
you don't like Seabook? It's a stupid name, though.
Yeah, but that's it. Like sometimes Gundam names, I just want to find whoever came up with them. Tomino, no. They introduce like him and Cecilia they're at some sort of beauty contest. He's trying to force her into it, and but. We have no introductions to them. It's just this man screaming at a woman, "Get on the stage!" Like, what? I don't know if they're dating. I don't know if he just met her. And then robots have shown up. And there's moments in it where you feel like half an hour of show is just missing.
Ooh.
And they haven't written over it. They haven't rewritten it to compensate. There's about 10 characters in this, and I have no clue who any of them are.
Hooray.
Not a one. There's no setup. There's no relationships. There's no emotion. I've never seen I feel like when they found out the production had fallen through, they just perfectly fucked it up. I genuinely feel that. Because it's like hilariously bad. Like, I was laughing a lot watching this movie. It's got some decent robot action, but people will tell you sometimes, like, because I heard this, F91 script isn't good, but it looks very pretty.
Yes.
The initial invasion looks very pretty.
Oh, it goes downhill from there, does it?
I don't think the F91 gets any good scenes in the movie in terms of like real solid animation.
Ooh.
Also, the F91's barely in the movie. It's got maybe a couple of minutes of scenes spread out through the movie.
Doesn't it have a full manga series like Crossbones, though?
No.
No.
There is a semi-manga adaptation.
Oh,
but
right.
the big thing for F91, if you want to know what actually went on and like what could have been, there's a novel, which is intended to be an expanded version of the film.
Right.
I haven't read it, probably won't, but probably had things like plot and character development.
Nah, that's silly.
But
silly.
It's so bad, Andy. I want to see the F91 do cool shit because it's a cool design. I like it, but
yeah, it's really good.
But yeah, no, it doesn't. It does no cool. Like one of the things about the F91 is that it's like it's a Formula One, souped up, speedster. Doesn't seem particularly fast. Ooh. And the Crossbone Vanguards, they're the bad guys in this. Their mechs aren't very good. The design aesthetic, if I'm honest.
Would you say they did better justice to the F-91 Gundam in Build Fighters?
Yes.
Well.
Yeah. So I wouldn't recommend seeing this. It's a fucking disaster. But if you want to laugh and you can take that kind of thing.
You did suggested that you enjoyed the train wreck at the very least.
It was fascinating. Apart from that, I built my death side, the
Hooray.
Endless Waltz Glory of Losers Master Grade death side with roulette unit, which is the death side with wings. So this is
but not the one from the show.
No, this is the white and black one from the manga.
Yeah.
That got turned into the Endless Waltz death side, which is the best death side.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Which I can't get because it costs about as much as your child.
Yeah, because it came out a few years ago, didn't it?
Yeah.
Or something.
So it's a 2011 mold.
Yeah.
So this is the mold's identical apart from the shoulders and the head, and obviously this version of it comes with wings, which I believe are from the Kai version, not the Kai, the Endless Waltz version of Wing or Wing Zero. I think they're the same. But yeah, no, my first Master Grade build, it's an older one. So ultimately I didn't feel there was a big difference between building it and like a high grade.
Okay.
I enjoyed it a lot though. There is a frame in there, but not an extensive one. Because I was kind of expecting something more like the real grade, but because the real grade actually only came out a few years later. The one I had, the Mark II. But I really liked the design. It was a really fun build. Did about an hour an evening for the last week or so. Effect parts are good. It's very solid. He's standing up there with a wing pack on now. No stand or no nothing, and he's just balancing happy out. Decent posability, although the legs are a bit stiff. Really like the effect part, and a really fun panel line job. Overall, I'd say if you want a master grade, maybe these wing ones might be a good one to try. Maybe not this one because it's an exclusive, so this one might be a bit much. But I've seen the Epion on eBay for cheap, and I think there's a version of Sandrock out there for not crazy money.
Is the Epion the same year as the Endless Waltz 2011?
Yeah.
I think that's the one I got when I wanted to try out Master Grades, and I wasn't overly amazed by it.
I don't know what I'll do for the next Master Grade, so I'll try something more recent.
I think the issue is trying to find something that you and I would think is actually cool from the Master Grade line.
Yeah. Well, they had one recently. They were advertising the Stormbringer, Fall Ash, Fate, something Ash, and it's a kind of military style. It's one of the build suits, but it's done up in military colors and stuff.
Okay.
It looks really, really cool. But it's an exclusive, so I don't want to pay exclusive prices.
Sure.
So it's just in case I'll go through. I don't really want the Barbados. I know it's supposed to be good, but I don't really want it. I'll find something. The other thing is I got my Metal Gurumon, but I won't be building him for a while. The real type RX-78 is the next one. Partly because...
So why is Garurumon on the back burner?
Because my liner died, so I need to get new liners.
Lame.
So based on War Greymon, that's going to be a big lining job.
Right. Oh yeah, of course. I remember you saying that it took a long time just to panel line everything on him.
Yeah, but it was I enjoyed it, but it was just so RX-78 don't need much it's the real type, so don't need much panel lining. Because he's all in dark colors. But I did finally get a chance to play about with Nicey. And with some subjectivity and everything else, I would fairly confidently say this is the best toy I've handled in 2 to 3 years.
Oh, wow.
She's fantastic.
Posability
comparable.
Praise right there, yo.
Posability comparable to a figure art. Surprisingly solid. Her tiny feet fight you constantly, but if you can get her to take a pose, she will hold it.
Right.
Good articulation, real good paint job. Her colors really, really pop. Great presence. great accessories. I love the sword. I love the way the bow works. I love the way the gun works. I think the gun was really, really cool. The overall sculpt is really, really solid. The box is like made of concrete. It's so tough. I'm really interested to see what Big Firebird comes out with next, because this is a really, really strong start. I will in no way pretend it is not what it is, because the box certainly isn't, because the box is a pair of tits.
Yes.
And in that box you have, if you want to swap them out, you can change her cleavage for soft, supple cleavage. I have not chosen to do so.
That's fair.
And she comes with a character card, which is her riding a stick.
Yay!
This toy is in no way apologizing for what it is. But I'm honestly, like, if you're into magical girl aesthetic, if you're into anime aesthetic, this is kind of a must-have if you can afford it. Or at least, I really, like, other people may not feel as strongly. I think she's really solid. A lot of metal in her, a lot of die-cast. The weakest part of her is the fact she transforms. And it's not an amazing transformation, and I'm not particularly interested in it.
Is it because it's just not very inventive?
There's some inventive moments, but mostly it's just a shell. So I'm just like, okay, cool. This just means her back isn't as clean as it could have been. But a lot of modularity in like like the top of her robot mode, which is the front of the car. It's a weapon. It's side skirting. I really like this toy. Really, really, really good. Like, they're doing that sort of like more Macrossy style line.
That's right, yeah.
Whose name escapes me. I'm really curious to see how they turn out. The Magic Henshin line, I'd like to pick up at least one of those. But if they can keep up this kind of quality, I will be very impressed. I haven't had this positive a reaction to a first in-hand toy since my first Flame Toys kit. And I love me some Flame Toys.
It's true. You do love them.
So yeah, I honestly, if you can get her for a decent price, people should consider buying Nicey.
It's just a shame that there aren't a huge amount of places you can get it from, really, is there?
I got it off TF Express. I don't know if they've got any replacements. Obviously, she'll be up on eBay, but word of warning there. Apart from that, it's just do some hunting. On this side of the pond, I'm not sure what your options are apart from TF Express on eBay, but honestly, if you know someone who has her, ask if you can have a bit of a play about. Well worth considering. Well worth considering. Even if you don't react as strongly to it as me, I think just the basic construction will be satisfactory. Because I'm sure someone will react badly to it in terms of like, oh, I don't think it came together very well. But no, I think it's real good. Real good. She does some feckin' dynamic action poses. Like, she looks badass in a lot of poses. Like, you see all the things on Twitter at the moment, just like, let's put her in a sexy hentai pose, and it's just like, boy, are you missing the most fun parts of this toy. Like, she looks fantastic doing a rider kick.
Have you taken the backpack off of her?
Yeah. It's like, it comes off and it's part of the weapons as well, so. I really have no complaints. Like I said, the transformation, and it's the bit I'm least interested in. So I'm really happy with her.
That's not bad.
Andy.
Yes.
What do?
What did I do this week? Not a lot of amazing stuff. I got my L-shaped desk, so a lot of the week, I suppose, was like building. One day it was building the desk, and then the rest of the week has been tidying up the mess I made in, shifting around furniture to be able to do that. So now I've got set up in a completely different room. My computer's all set up. I've got 2 screens I can look at now if I want to. And yeah, it's pretty fun. I got my Pimp Daddy Destro in from the G.I. Joe Classified line. Cementing the fact that I think the G.I. Joe Classified line is a good, solid line. They are very fun figures. The Pimp Daddy Destro, let's just grab him. He has a big leopard skin coat. And when you put that on, it does, because of the bits going over the shoulders, it does kind of negate a lot of the articulation in the shoulders. But you get it more for the pimpness rather than the pose. And if you want him to pose, you just you just take the cape off, don't you? Apart from that, he's got some cool shades, which fit on his head like an actual pair of shades. They don't like peg on or anything. They're kind of hooked behind the ear, and you can bounce them on his nose, which is kind of fun. Though I do fear that, like, if he falls off a desk somewhere, the shades will go flying, and if you've got thick carpet, good luck trying to find that sucker. That's going to be a pain. I also got the Mcfarland Space Marine figure. I'm a little bit...
yeah. I've seen a review of that.
I got the artist proof version, which is the grey version, which is more friendly for painting. I actually saw a review on it, which someone said, "Oh, it comes already primed." And like, you don't know what primed means when you're talking about painting, because it's not painted at all. Yeah. Priming means you've got a base layer of paint on it. Don't lie, or get informed if you're going to throw around those terms. It has issues. You said you've seen some reviews on it, did you, Mikey?
Yeah, I saw one which was kind of like not what I was hoping for.
What were they hoping for?
I think they basically came out and just like, I was hoping there would be a really solid action figure, and I don't think it's a really solid action figure. It looks okay standing still.
I think it's an okay action figure.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's really solid though. I would definitely agree with that. It's got a lot of issues, at least mine does, with flash and mold lines all over the place. So when I take it apart to get ready for painting, I'm gonna have to take a knife to it and a sandpaper just to smooth stuff out, because it's got some really ugly flash marks on it as well, which is a bit disappointing. The one I have, because it's the artist proof version, it doesn't come with a bolt pistol, it comes with a bolt rifle, so it's the double-handed gun. I don't feel the hand is sculpted for that gun. It has a slight openness to it, but the way that you get the actual handle into the gun, it's not the hand doesn't close all the way around the handle. It's kind of if you can imagine the fingertips are kind of gripping the edge of the handle. See, it's not like closed around it. It's just gripping the edge of it. If you get my meaning. And it means that the gun can come out of its hand quite easily. I feel that like the other hand is an open hand, so it's meant to be you balance the gun on that hand, so it looks like he's double holding it. But I wouldn't say that hand works as well as you'd like it to, because when you try and get it into that position, the gun sort of floats above the hand a little bit. So it's an okay attempt. It's just, I think the problem of having the G.I. Joe figures on hand shows how much better the G.I. Joe stuff is versus the Mcfarland stuff. And they are much better. These classified figures are much, much better, especially for the price point. I wouldn't say the Mcfarland one's a terrible thing. And if you were going to say to me, like, would you say get the Bandai one instead? It'd be like, it's a hard push, because the Bandai one was like $80 versus $20 of the Mcfarland one. But it's not amazing. It feels like I'm glad that I haven't gone in on Mcfarland toys in general, because it doesn't feel like I would have been happy with a lot of them, which is a bit of an issue. I've got the Necron on the way to me, but I don't know if the Necron comes and I'm still kind of iffy on it, I might just not buy any more of them, and the 2 might be enough for me. I guess we'll have to wait and see on that kind of front. I don't think I've really watched anything, like, I haven't watched any anime, because as far as I know, there's no anime to watch. All I've really been watching is just like a lot of Gaogura, the English EN HoloLive person, and I've been watching Amelia. They were playing HoloLive. Not HoloLive, they are HoloLive. They were playing Minecraft. And so I bought Minecraft as well. I've never played Minecraft. So I was like, I'll give it a try. I haven't had it long, and I haven't had much time to do much in it, but I am enjoying it. It is a very, very chilled experience for the most part. It definitely looks like, though, you like the way that they play, which is with a group of people, or in a world where, the rest of them can play as well, is the optimal way to play it. Yeah. And is more enjoyable that way than just hammering through a world on your own. But I'm enjoying it for what it is at the moment. I think we need to get you on Minecraft, Mikey, and then me and you can live in a world together.
But then I'd have to hang out with you.
No, you wouldn't. You just need to build things and impress me. So I wander over to Mikey's side of the world and go, oh, look at all this. Ooh.
I'd like setting up traps.
You'd be Pekora. Okay.
Oh, God, yeah.
Or would you be Miko? Burn your own house down?
That's just like photobombing these days.
She still exists, which is nice.
I'm back during the week, I think, but I've just been watching clips of just amusing, just like, oh, I'm doing a thing on Minecraft, and just see in the corner, and then just slowly getting close and just like, I'm back.
Amiko is around. Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
That's good.
And in general, madness ensues.
Yeah, as it does. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I can't think of anything else desperately fun or interesting I've been doing because, the desk was expensive, so that took a lot of my money. And like I said, there's just nothing on TV at the moment to really watch, unfortunately, because I haven't heard anyone talk about anything good new anime-wise.
No, I did a bit more checking, and there's just nothing grabbing this season. This is the COVID season.
Yeah, pretty much. ReZero's gone, so what is there? Nothing. Oh, well, there's Kamen Rider. Yeah.
Is there?
I hear Oren's meant to be in like episode 5 or something as a cameo. At least the actor.
Yeah, well, it won't be his fault.
No, it's a shame. Maybe the show will get better. Maybe. Well, I think that's it then, Mr. Mikey. So is there any place you'd like people to find you?
I'm actually blanking for once. You can contact me over on Twitter with Irish Paleo, and of course you can send us emails and everything else to moonbase2@gmail.com and give us feedback on all the various medias that we have.
Yay!
Andy.
Me. You can find me on Twitter, CCTFW, YouTube as Cobra Commander TFW. You can find me on Twitch, CCTFW as well, where I do Twitch streamings from 11 o'clock in the evening UK time. At the moment, it's Monster Hunting time and it's Code Vein at the moment, which is still very much enjoyable. Both of them are fun things to play, at least I'm finding. And if you want to support the show, you can head over to patreon.com/moonbase2 and do $2 each month, where you get the extended version From the Files of Teletran 2, which we'll need to actually set up a time to record for this week or month, Mr. Mikey.
Yes, I keep forgetting about it, to be honest.
It's because you don't have to read the Transformer ones anymore. That's probably why. And you also get the Moonbase Woo Woo, where we talk about non-Transformer things. And this week it's me and Nicole talking about spoopy encounters that she's had and ghost walks and stuff like that. So that should hopefully be interesting, and 'tis the season. And if you want to find this podcast, as Mikey said, you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Libsyn, YouTube as Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast. And you can also head over to ccbunker.weebly.com if you want to do us that way too. So, that's it, Mikey. Thank you for joining me this week, as usual.
Thank you for having me.
And until next week, everybody, we will catch you next time for, hopefully news. I mean, there wasn't much this week, but, we're getting closer to the season where there's just not going to be anything to talk about.
Yep. And we'll basically stop talking. We'll just an hour and a half of us sitting there quietly twiddling our thumbs.
No, we'll be talking about Hololive probably.
Because there's no anime.
No, exactly.
And
so that's the closest thing we've got.
Like, what's the thing on American TV at the moment? The Boys.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah, I saw season 1. I'm not sure I'm going to bother with season 2.
I didn't like season 1.
Did you know? I thought it was interesting enough.
I'm just... 1, I'm tired of superheroes. 2, I'm tired of everything being dark and miserable. And 3, I'm tired of superheroes being dark and miserable.
That's fair. Yeah. That is
and then
fair.
people tell me like, is it really? Alex Kurtzman has planned for 10 more years of Star Trek.
Oh no.
Discovery's back as well.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, I don't know what the how good they are. I imagine as good as last season, but
maybe better. Like season 2 was technically better than season 1, but I watched 2 seasons and I'm not watching a third.
No, you should only watch reviews of them because at least they'll make them fun.
Didn't like that show.
No.
But yeah, 10 more years of Alex Kurtzman led Star Trek, Andy. Are you excited?
Why aren't we changing this dude over?
Because he is a flash in the pan that is getting attention.
He's been a flash in the pan for a long time, though. A long time.
He's a flash in the pan who keeps coming back and getting attention.
I hate it. I hate it, Mikey. Also, I did watch kind of a lame episode of Star Trek last night, though. It was the one I'd actually forgotten this one where we find out Deanna had a sister and a mum had repressed the memory of her dying.
I don't remember this one.
Yeah, neither did I. It's not a super interesting one or a very sci-fi one. It's more of a like drama-based one, which was kind of meh.
I'm always a bit cagey when you have Loxana in an episode.
Yeah. They vary in quality.
They vary.
They do, unfortunately. Yeah. Well, I think that will end us, Mr. Mikey, so thank you for joining me, and we'll see you next week, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You are now leaving